Good morning, Doe fam. Back with another video. Today's a massive one. We're having breakouts across the board, and once again, September is well into the green. Just look at that daily Ethereum chart. We're just having massive pumps, and it's really looking like base season is about to start. Toshi's starting to wake up. Alien Base is starting to wake up off the lows, as well as World Marble Token. But without further ado, I'm Dope Oxide. I make content on YouTube, X, and CoinMarketCap, so be sure to follow those pages. Be sure to follow my X page and be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. First of all, for liquidations, we actually had a nice uptick in liquidations, over $467 million, with majority being the short side. Something to note once again, once we see over $750 million in liquidations, I do expect at the very least probably some sideways consolidation, if not an inflection point, because generally that is usually the top or bottom of wherever the trend is. Next up is liquidation heat map. Once again, we're having liquidations getting built up below us on the lower time frames. And if I do zoom out, look, we actually have way more liquidations below us than on top of us. We took out most of the liquidity. So let's see where we go. If the trend is for a bear market to actually start from here, I do expect this relief bounce to most likely be over, and we might just make new lows from here. But if we are really truly going to make a new higher and new all-time highs, I do expect this major 116k level to be held, and then we can actually make new all-time highs and price discovery at the end of this month. Next up is the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. And look, we actually basically tagged that 0.041 key region. And I do expect once this is broken, we're going to have some really nice acceleration to the upside, which will obviously mean that Ethereum to USD will be outpacing Bitcoin, and more than likely our base native token assets will also accelerate with conjunction with Ethereum's performance. Next up is the Ethereum to USD chart. Look at that, amazing. We're having a fat green candle. Let me just change to the daily. And look, the daily looks absolutely amazing. We wanted to confirm a higher high at the 4492 region, but obviously we're $200 over that already. So yeah, higher highs confirmed. The trend is up, and usually the trend is your friend to the end. And it's really looking like Ethereum might just make all-time highs before Bitcoin during this month. And once again, September is a green month. Do not be bearish. And we will definitely not bearish at the lows at the beginning of this month, because I told you guys, look, the stats are really clear. But September month is usually red on a 60% basis, and that isn't just enough data points, because 60% isn't a clear trend, and we just have to assume that the trend is up. Q4 is generally bullish, and we do expect that late August dump was the bottom. Next up is Bitcoin USD chart. And look, basically, we want to break above. We want to hold above 116k, because that would just mean a higher high is confirmed and Bitcoin is actually reversing to the upside. Next up is Total 3. Same goes as last video. Looking absolutely amazing. It looks like we barely wicked above the previous all-time high. Let me just delete all these lines. So yeah, we actually briefly wicked above the all-time highs, which obviously we don't want to see wicks. We want to see closes above, because that will mean price discovery is actually in play, because a wick actually might risk that this actually might be a fake out to the upside, and we actually break down from here and make new lows. We want to see confirmation. We want to see higher highs and higher lows well into price discovery, which will probably get confirmation by the end of this month. Next up is the others chart. The others chart is looking great. We made a new higher high, as you guys can see, but of course, others chart has always been lagging, and I do expect acceleration to happen once Total 3 actually gets confirmation that it's in price discovery, because generally, others chart actually bulls in the latter part of the bull cycle. It's the last thing to pump. It's all the smaller altcoins, and generally the smaller altcoins are the main risk on assets, which will have the last flow of rotation coming into them. Next up is stock market. If I actually zoom in, the stock market actually briefly made an all-time high today. And look, the stock market is obviously in risk on mode. It's making new highs, it's making new higher lows, and the trend is up. It's really looking like this is actually having its final parabolic move to the upside. Because just look at that. Like if we zoom out, it's looking absolutely amazing. Really, this just tells us we're in the end part of the bull cycle. The stock market is going absolutely parabolic, but it doesn't mean it's the end. We're just getting closer, and it's time to actually start being careful. Next up is Toshi. Toshi is looking absolutely amazing right now. We're actually bouncing off the higher low, and we just have to be patient, because I do expect this acceleration is about to start. If we look at Doge is really starting to accelerate to the upside. It's up 7% today, And really, this just tells me meme coins are about to pop off, and we just have to be patient because I really want to see Doge above that 30 cent key region, because that just tells me higher highs and higher lows are being made for Doge. And once it gets into that parabolic stage like we just had in 2021, more than likely Toshi and other base meme coins will really start popping off. Next up is Alien Base. We had a really nice bullish engulfing candle off the higher lows. Confirmation is in. More than likely, we're actually going to start heading into that higher bounds of the accumulation range. And if we do break out, the last line of defense for the bears is this downtrend. And if we break out of this downtrend, that just means to me a confirmation is in for Alien Base, where more than likely the trend has been reversed. We've made a new series of higher highs and higher lows. Just a reminder, guys, since November 2024, Alien Base has been in a series of lower highs and lower lows. But back in April recently, we actually had new higher lows to be made. So we're technically in a wedging pattern right now, and we really want to break out into a new higher high, because that means a trend is changing, seller exhaustion is happening, and buyers are actually stepping in. It is a long process. Alien Base is a microcap, and in my opinion, will take a lot more time to actually pump. And will probably pump in the end part of the stages of the bull cycle, but it doesn't mean there's no gains to be had. In my opinion, Alien Base will outperform Aerodrome on the multiplier basis, but will of course take more time to actually pump. Next up is World Mobile Token. World Mobile Token is really looking like it wants to pump to new highs. If I just delete the lines and make it easy to read. So once again, World Mobile Token, it broke out of a massive accumulation range. This accumulation range pretty much started back in February 2025 and has lasted over 180 days. Generally long accumulation ranges like this, once they break out with confidence and explosion, and we've just seen just that. And really, last line of defense for the bears is breaking out above this 193 million area. If we break above, look, I really do think that World Mobile Token is going to have a speed run to over 200 mil, probably at that 225 mil. That's probably the next line of resistance. And then after that, it's well over into 250 mil range. But basically, when it comes to World Mobile Token, fundamentals are strong, and it's really looking like it's about to catch some massive bids in the short term, and more than likely end of September, it will be well over $200 million in market cap. Next up is tweets. I've been full posting Bitcoin and Ethereum the entire week, and it feels good to finally see everything come to fruition. This market still has plenty of room to grow. You have a generational opportunity in front of you. Take it. So these charts look absolutely amazing. As you guys can see, the reason why we actually pumped so hard off the lows is we had an inverted head and shoulders pattern. Generally, the target is the shoulder to the head. We went into that target. Looks like the RSIs are actually flipping to the bullish side, which obviously means buyers are stepping in. And same goes for Ethereum. Ethereum actually looks technically better because, as you guys can see, we're in a nice falling wedge pattern. And once we broke out, RSIs broke out. And the RSIs actually isn't as overheated as Bitcoin. And this just tells me the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart will more than likely break out to the upside probably sometime this month. Next and final tweet by Charting Guy. Ethereum all-time high break equals the Bitcoin dominance crash. So once again, I'm really waiting for the Ethereum chart to go into price discovery, because I told you guys so many times, once Ethereum is fully confirmed in price discovery, I do expect base native assets to go absolutely bananas, because this just tells me Bitcoin dominance is going to have a really nice dump to the downside once Ethereum USD starts pumping. And of course, since our base native token assets are paired in the Ethereum token, more than likely base chain will pump. Base chain is the high beta of Ethereum, and if Ethereum is pumping to the upside as well as Bitcoin dominance dumping to the downside, look, altcoin season for base chain is going to start, and I do expect continuation to the upside to be had. When it comes to Toshi, look, Toshi is going to break out of his wedge. Alien Base is also going to break out of his wedge. Let me just delete these lines. These are getting very messy. And same goes for World Mobile Token. Once World Mobile Token makes this higher high, I do expect acceleration to continue and make that new all-time high. Previous all-time high on base was 462 mil, so I do expect higher than that later on in the end stages of this bull cycle. But that's all to the video, guys. Hope you guys liked the video. Like and subscribe and comment down below if you have any questions. Very exciting times. Time to lock in, because I do expect Ethereum price discovery to happen within the next month, as well as base chain to really start popping up. But that's all to the video, guys. Have a good one. Have a good day. Peace.